Most people are not cut out for it.
It's time.
But these women are not most people.
You could have killed someone.
I didn't know his coat was flammable.
Everything is flammable once you light it on fire.
Welcome to USG University. Each year, Universal Studio Group brings together the creative forces behind some of television's most celebrated series for a special Emmy season conversation. This panel series highlights the artistry and artisans behind these outstanding shows. USG University is proud to partner with the Motion Picture and Television Fund, which supports working and retired members of the entertainment community. Today, we are diving into Ponies from Universal Television. Let us go around and introduce our panel.
I'm Lu Richardson. I'm an actor, and I play Twyla on Ponies.
I'm Sara K. I'm the production designer for Ponies.
I'm Susanna Fogel. I'm the co-creator and writer and director of Ponies.
I'm David Iserson. I am the co-creator and showrunner of Ponies.
I'm Emilia, and I play Bee on Ponies.
Oh. Mm-hmm. They're looking for a bin?
Yeah.
There's the bin.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna wait here, and then if anyone you know comes in out of nowhere, just whistle twice. I can't whistle. What do you mean you can't whistle? No, stop. How did you never learn how to whistle? It's a very basic skill.
My parents were immigrants. They didn't teach me how to whistle.
Immigrants whistle, Bee. How else do they round up all the animals on the farm?
What farm?
I don't know. It was old world. I'm assuming there was a farm. Oh. I'm gonna go in cold then.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get it? No. I got gum.
What if they meant the towel bin? I think that's just a trash can. What if they were expecting us to find the towel bin in the men's changing room?
Moscow rules, B.
Moscow rules.
Ain't got no trouble in my life. No foolish dream to make me cry. I'm never frightened or worried.
Sara, I'd actually love to start with you and you know, the incredible challenge of building out a Ponies version of Moscow in Hungary. Tell me about finding that bathhouse and creating the space for that incredible like charge through the men's room.
Yeah, that bathhouse was a really special one because it actually had unfortunately been damaged in a bombing. But then the portion that we shot in was rebuilt while Budapest was under Soviet occupation. So the style of portion of the building that we shot in for the pools was specifically leaning into both the Soviet look that we wanted and the era that we wanted. So we did tour all the bathhouses, but that one gave us really the most authenticity that we could find.
That's awesome. You know, trying to find dramatic shapes and architecture that would speak to the period, but also sort of give us the visual sense of being in Russia. You had to adapt some pretty crazy places, right?
We scouted everywhere. We had a locations team that was showing us every possible spectacular location that we could get our hands on. And for instance, with the Hotel and Tourist that we ended up shooting in Hotel Budapest, which was an iconic 1960s hotel that was being torn down as we were starting to prep in that location. So we were really just, running in front of the wrecking ball, as I like to say, like for a lot of these locations, just to get in there because they'd been pretty derelict. A lot of those spaces had been sort of forgotten or ill-used in the intervening years. And so we were really lucky to sort of scrape out the last few moments of a lot of these spaces that we were shooting in.
Literally the last few moments of that hotel, because I got sick.
Yeah.
And then it got pushed and everyone was like, Haley, you need to get better because we literally are going to lose this location. It will not exist anymore.
Yeah. I was talking with our set decorator who was working on that and did an amazing job of rebuilding that space. And she's based in Budapest, and it's the entire upper portion of that building is completely gone. They've been systematically demolishing it since we left, and there's no floor plates of the hotel rooms left. Yeah, crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ivana and Twyla left their mark.
Haley, I'd love to come to you for the mark that Twyla left. She's not on this panel, but I had the chance, the lucky privilege to talk to the costume designer on Ponies, Anastasia, and she talked about getting on the phone with you and buying some cowboy boots for Twyla.
Yeah.
And I would love to kind of hear about sort of what are the tactile ways, be it with costume or with set, that you find your way into a character.
That's kind of the most important part for me, I think, that those initial conversations with David and Susanna talking about character. I could talk about characters for days and weeks and months, and I do for a living. Talking to the costume designer, in this case Anastasia, meeting the hair and makeup people. It's like and bringing my ideas in, but also then being inspired by their ideas and really making like the best, most specific version of a character. And I really feel like that's kind of what we were able to do with every aspect of bringing her to life visually and with all of those different collaborations. But yeah, I remember getting on the phone with Anastasia, and we just like were kind of kindred spirits right away, and we're really on the same page about who Twyla was to her core and this place she's at in her life, especially with a character like Twyla that's like so bold and unapologetic. Like you really can express so loudly that type of person through the costuming. So we really wanted to just like have fun with it and be really specific with it. And we started talking about her past, like her childhood, where she comes from, and the cowboy boots and how they are so off in Russia at this time, but how she says like, fuck it. And it's like, but they can't just be brown cowboy boots. They have to be like, we're talking about our colors and like this maroony fiery color. And it was like, they have to have like flames and butterflies on them. And she was like, wait, I'm on Etsy right now. And I found them. Can I order them? And I was like, yeah. She's like, there are 7. Can you squeeze in? So normally I'm a 7.5. Anyway, she got them, and I wore them in the scene in the bathhouse. Love those things.
Fantastic. Emilia, I'd love to ask you the same question. Kind of what's useful to you from sort of costume set that helps you break into a character?
Everything, all of it. Immersing yourself as much as you can in it. The set plays a huge part. Costume plays a massive part, but I don't have the same energy that Hales has with costume. I'm a real do as I'm told kind of lady. The thing that Anastasia and I spent a lot of time talking about was Bee's progression of character through her clothing. This kind
She's
of
a truly astonishing arc with coats.
Yeah, literally just that. Yeah, no, exactly. So it was very, how straight can we make her and how much can we break her by the end? Was sort of like, how much is Twyla rubbed off on her by the end of this show, and how is that reflective in the clothing?
That's the KGB. To them, I'm a POI, a person of interest. But you two are PONIs.
Ponies. Persons of no interest.
It was the change that I was finding so fascinating. And I've honestly never worked with a costume designer like Anastasia. She gives you so much confidence, and she gives you so much space and freedom to really have a conversation with her and have that be all of it a part of building your character. And then the sets were just next level. You know, you do your work, and we have all these wonderful discussions with our beautiful showrunners and our writers and our directors, and you're getting into the grips of the character, and then you know what shoes you're wearing, and you know what jacket you're wearing, and you've gone through it in your home, and you're up late at night learning your lines, and then you walk on set and you're like, oh, it's done for me. I did it already. It's here. I just have to walk in to this incredible set, and thank God I remembered my lines, and that's it. And when you have someone as extraordinary as Sarah doing your sets, it's like every single day would be like, this is so cool, this amazing place. And then shooting in Budapest, the amount of like genuine history and Soviet history that's there anyway, you know, you feel it everywhere. So yeah, all of it. It's all incredibly useful and helpful.
Susanna and David, I'd love to come to y'all because I think some of that detail and interest and sort of real visual aliveness comes from, you know, what you you wanted the series to be. So I'd love to kind of ask you a little bit about your approach to the world of Ponies, to period, and how you work with your department heads to make that happen.
It's so hard to stand out as a television show. I mean, there's such a glut of shows out there, and there's lots of streamers, and you just want people to see your show and just understand that we're trying to do something bold. And so I think at every turn, we just sort of asked ourselves, how do we tell the story in a way that feels like the 70s and like the Soviet Union and has historical verisimilitude and still feels like the time, but like, let's make the decisions to make every frame have the most interesting things that we can have. And so we had sort of some impressionistic guidelines. We wanted to make these decisions that gave the feel and the escapism that we are going to have this sort of be able to use our department heads with Sara and Anastasia, and then our music supervisor and our composer and our cinematographer and all of these pieces to just have the most like immersive, beautiful experience that we could have.
Sara and Anastasia are people both people I've worked with multiple times on multiple projects, multiple eras and locations. They make a great team with each other. They're very aligned in terms of their aesthetic, which is to say, like, it always starts from a place of emotion. Like, what does this character's space look like? What are they putting in their space? What do they think they're presenting with what they're wearing versus what the world would actually see? What are they trying to say in their expression of themselves? And so it always starts there. And then beyond that, there's just an appreciation for something that feels fun to watch. And I think for this particular show, it was like, yes, it's period, but there's sort of a commitment to being truthful in terms of like the layering of life that goes on in both costumes and design, where because it's 1977, that doesn't mean everyone's clothes were 1977 clothes and every song is a hit from 1977. And like, you know, there's like layers of the history of these people's lives and their spaces. So with the love for that, then how do we make it look fun and like a world you want to be in without having it feel like it's like a overly designed ad for a time period with that's nostalgia over authenticity.
How in prep do you attack a scene like the bathhouse? Do you think about music first, blocking first?
Not blocking first. Dave, do you want to take this one? blocking that.
Yeah. I mean, this was a little bit of like using this meeting of the minds between what exists in Budapest and what we knew Sara could do. Like, Susanna and I had we'd been to this bathhouse. It is beautiful. We knew that it existed when we wrote the scene, and we wrote the scene years and years before we shot it. And the music came last because we had a song. I think originally we had I Feel the Earth Move by Carole King, and we couldn't secure that one. So we found this Kiki D song that really worked for that scene and kind of matched it all perfectly. Some of it is serendipity and some of it is like thought for years and years, and I think both of those things merge. And obviously we didn't know who our actors would be when we wrote the scene, but like this was such a friendship moment scene of them. Like, this is their chemistry, this is their humor. They're both it kind of like speaks to the thesis statement of the tone of the show, that like they are in high stakes. This is scary and dramatic, and also like it isn't just naturally funny because these are two people who just bring out that side of them. I think the whistling dialogue between Bea and Twyla is one of my favorite little early banter bits between them. So it's all of the elements you plan so much, and then you kind of ride the moment, and then you elevate it if you're lucky.
Sara, I'd like to come back to you a little bit about sort of the way that particularly the apartment sets in the American Embassy get to do some fun visual storytelling about who Bea and Twyla are. And I'd love to ask you about designing those spaces for many other friendship moments that they have.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to make sure that they felt like they were very distinct personalities and were coming to this potential future together. From different places, from different histories, and had different expectations for how they were going to live their life.
How long you been here? 6 months. And what does your husband do?
Communications envoy for the associate to the U.S. ambassador to the USSR.
Stop it. Come on, we both know what our husbands really do.
With Bea's character being much more involved as a homemaker and finding pride in that and being a little bit more rooted in the responsibilities of an embassy wife. And that was showing up in her space by having a bit more of a feminine touch. We have floral wallpapers in there. We have more of an organized space that is with intention and shows warmth and shows a history of also her intellectual pursuits. And I really wanted to contrast that then with Twyla, who shows up a bit on a bit of a tear and comes into her space, and it's not very pulled together. It's been sort of half set up by her husband while she's been away, and it both shows where she wants to go, which is to not really stay in that apartment and not be stuck at home. But also it shows the roots that they came from, which is a place that didn't have as many resources. And so showing those two very different aspects of these characters' personalities and their histories was super important. But they're both comfortable spaces. And when they sit there and they're drinking wine together, it feels like they've got plenty of space to spread out and cozy couches to sink into. So that was also really important.
And it is crazy, like what Emilia is saying, like it's like when something's so good and so right, it just transports you. You almost like can take it for granted as an actor, but it's like, it is so crucial. That's why auditioning sucks, because we don't have you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, because you have to make it all up in your brain, but when it's like real and tangible and so accurate and right, it just makes it so much easier and more fun.
I loved our apartments, and they did feel different. And then you walk in and you're just like, my house. This is this is like, so it's easy to find the blocking in your own land. I also had my bathroom was avocado green, right? I mean, like me right now.
It was so fun to make those bathrooms because we custom painted all of the tiles. So we had to pick exactly the right shade. And it was so much fun to be able to pick that shade. And we matched this incredible mirror into it. It was a lot of fun.
For us, it was important to sort of give a visual cue to the viewer that would help them understand the tone of the show. The standard drab, it's always raining, it's always gray version of a Moscow spy show that we've seen before. I can't imagine a joke existing in that aesthetic landscape and knowing that I'm allowed to laugh at the joke as a viewer. So you're sort of trying to get in the head of the people watching the show and think, I just want to let them know that there will be a full spectrum of responses that they can have, just like there's a full spectrum of colors in this world.
There is something that you feel as somebody who's making television when you can step on a place that feels like you're excited to stand there, that feels like it almost drives what makes it so you want to make a television show. If you kind of like to exist in the set, then maybe you are giving the same to the audience. And so that also sort of drove why we wanted the vibrancy to be the way it is.
The only point I would disagree with that is the cars. Can we have driving those little Russian cars with all the gears? All the gear sticks?
Well, I would say
that is the one that I wouldn't live in.
But before you
beautiful cars, but
yeah,
so beautiful.
Before you came to set, we sent you pictures of the cars, and you were in love with the cars before you got to sit in them, and then before you got to smell them, and before you got to be terrified of them. So you as a viewer
starts in them. Yes, those were hard times. But everything else, I would definitely live in our world.
That is our time. I could talk to y'all for hours about the wonderful world of ponies, but thank you so much for sharing some of your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. This was really a pleasure.
Thank you all so much for joining us, and don't miss Universal Television's Ponies, now streaming on Peacock. For more Emmy season highlights, head to IndieWire.com.